Hello and welcome back. I am Mondef, of course, and I am back on the Utopia Cubed server, where we play Feed the Beast and have tons of fun. But today is a special day, because today is a special day because of yesterday. Yeah, sure, why not? Yesterday I hit 2,500 subscribers, which is a huge milestone for me. I never thought when I started this that I would get this many people watching my videos. It's incredible and surprising, and I'm surprised, and thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys continue to watch and put comments down and keep chatting and giving me ideas and feedback on what I'm doing and working on. And, I really enjoy that. But if you've been a member of my channel for a while, subscriber, you may know that when I hit these kinds of milestones, I like to build a little something to kind of commemorate the event and the date. So I did that today. I didn't skip it. It's actually where this video is coming out today, not yesterday, just because I had to build. So I built this. Yeah. It's maybe not the most amazing thing I've built, but I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty neat. It's a little dock. I built the dock, and this is the road that will eventually hook back over to the garden where we started. Yeah, it's like a little warehousey factory type, sitting on the docks type building. So I think it's pretty cool. The roof of the building here is all built out of microblocks. I like it. This design looks really neat. So yeah, I like it a lot. Let's go inside, and that's where the cool stuff's at. Alright. This is the Scrapatron 2500, which is of course a subscriber monument. I passed 2,500 subs on March 28th. That was yesterday, 2013. Or it could be more than yesterday if you're watching this video in a while. But yeah, let's go inside. We'll come right to here. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you may recognize that B00 asked for kind of a scrap machine, and I helped him get a design figured out for automatic scrap. But the system I designed for him was really little and quite weak, and the balance was pretty good, but on rare occasions it could choke itself. So, I like automatic scrap machines. It's a really cool idea, and they're fun builds, trying to balance out the numbers and things like that. So I built this one, and this one is perfectly balanced, has built-in safeties, and works great. I've had it running here continuously on the server for over 12 hours with absolutely no chokes, so it's great. I've only had to feed it 2 coal to get it started, and then it runs by itself. So let's go through how it works. Of course, we're going to start with an igneous extruder, which generates infinite amount of cobblestone. I have way more of these than I need. I have 6, which is fine. You can never have too many igneous extruders. All right, so that's generating cobblestone. Each one of these is programmed just to output down. Skelly's making noises. Okay. It goes down and it gets into the recycler, which of course processes and gets turned into scrap occasionally. Note that this has plenty of power to run, and there are no upgrades. Overclocking, which would make the recycler faster, makes it take more EU per operation. So it greatly increases the demand on the system, and as you'll see, the power is pretty well balanced without that. So yeah. So the scrap gets pulled out by this router, which of course you know I love routers. This will extract from the south. It could be any side, just any side of the recycler. This does also have a machine filter to make it only look at recyclers. Right? Where's that Skelly? He's being noisy and annoying. Okay. Then we have an autarchic gate, which just always pumps out. The mobs, man, I'm telling you. Trying to make a video. Come on, man, I'm trying to make a movie. Be dead. You be dead too. You were making noises as well. Okay. We'll go back inside now. Okay. Our target gate, always pumping, right, redstone signal off, energy pulsar. Comes up into this diamond pipe, which is set so that scrap goes into blue. We know that's the only thing that's going to be coming up the system. So all the scrap gets pumped into this auto crafting table, where you can see there's a lot of scrap. And I want to note, none of this scrap came from anywhere else other than this machine. This machine produced and is maintaining all of this scrap. I didn't even actually have a recycler. This was the first recycle I put down, this one right here. On this server, at least. Now, when the auto crafting table fills up with scrap, which is about to happen again, so a couple more here, then it can no longer go into the auto crafting table and it goes out to the red side. So this next one should go towards red. Here, this one should go towards red. There we go. That one goes out towards the red side. That's our product scrap. So this going into the auto crafting table, this is fuel, and that is scrap that we're going to use for whatever it is, whether it's a matter fabricator or scrap boxinator or whatever. So let's take a look at where the fuel scrap goes. This is left open so we can get back in here and look at it. The fuel scrap gets turned into scrap boxes in the auto crafting table. Well, and only technically it does once it gets pumped out, right? Okay. But we don't always want to be producing scrap boxes, because then we wouldn't have any scrap to use for whatever we're going to use scrap for. So we only want to pump out scrap when we need it, and specifically when you're working with the automatic scrap system, you only want to use the very least amount possible so you get the most scrap out as possible. Now, when a generator burns a scrap box or a piece of coal or a piece of wood or a button or anything, it starts with a certain amount of heat, and that heat just represents a time, and as it burns out of time, it generates EU, which fills up in its internal battery, or goes out the cable, right? But if the battery fills up, the burn will continue. So you don't want the generator's internal battery to get or be full. Otherwise, you'll actually end up losing power, or potential power, from the system. So we have a bat box here, but the whole point to this bat box is to get the power out of the generators so they can burn cleanly, and to never get filled up. If the bat box gets filled up, then the generator's internal battery buffers will get filled up, and then we cause problems. So you can see right now we've only got 2 generators burning. That's all that we really need burning at this very moment. The machine manages this for me. Sometimes all 6 will burn, and sometimes only 1 will burn, sometimes none will burn for a long period of time. But that's just the way the system works. And you can see the power here. It's running down, and then once it gets low enough, we'll come down here. As long as the capacitor has empty, the system just sits and waits. Once the capacitor doesn't have energy, which, keep in mind, the way gates read bat boxes, once this goes below 32, it's considered, quote-unquote, empty. Right? Once it's empty, then the red pipe signal will turn off. These signals are defaulting to on. So when it turns off, then it will let go of this redstone signal. So this gate is constantly emitting a redstone signal, and that redstone signal holds this router off, because the router will often hold extra scrap boxes. So basically, once we run out of energy, the router will distribute scrap boxes to the system. Now, if we run out of scrap boxes, which is what this part is for, if there are no items in the inventory, right, then this will turn off. But we only want to create scrap boxes if there are no items in the inventory, and if we actually need power from over here, which is why we've sent the red pipe signal up here as 2 separate times, and we add them together into the blue pipe signal. So when the blue pipe signal turns off, which means both of those conditions are true, which just happened, then it causes an energy pulse, which creates kind of a randomish number of scrap boxes. I've seen it be 1, and I've seen it be 9, so randomish, yeah. Which is why this part of the system is necessary. Yeah, if we could tell it to only make 1, then that'd be a lot easier. And there actually are ways you could do that. I just wanted to use buildcraft auto crafting tables for no good reason. Yeah. There are other auto crafting tables you could use. Actually, the reason I picked this is so that it works in more than the ultimate pack. This will work in any of the FTB packs at all. It's more efficient in some and less efficient in others, but whatever. It's less efficient in Ultimate, but details. Okay. So this takes a scrap box and it distributes it among the generators. It does that by inserting it into the bottom sides. It also has a machine filter, so it only looks at generators, and that burns them, generates the EU, that runs the recyclers. Pretty cool. So that's the fuel scrap. Now the product scrap, which is the stuff that we're going to use for doing scrap-like stuff, gets tesseracted. And this is going into a tesseract which is on a public access profile called Scrapatron 2500. So anybody who wants to access that frequency, it's frequency 900, on the server, can do that. Now, they won't get a constant stream of scrap because the machine has to maintain itself. So, you know, it may not produce a whole ton of scrap at some points and then a lot at other points. So, on the other side, the players are just going to have to manage, you know, having a buffer for whatever they're planning on using scrap for. Right? Now, because that doesn't necessarily produce a whole ton of scrap all the time, I did build a second one. It's identical. This one hasn't been running for as long, so it hasn't had a chance to fill its internal buffer yet. So this has to all fill. Once this all fills up with scrap, then it'll start producing scrap for the production line, which will go into the Tesseract for players to use. Right? So, yeah. If it comes down to a point where we're just not getting enough scrap, I might come in here and build. I have room for about, you can see I have room up there for a cell, room up there for a cell, one for here, one here, one there, one there. So if we need it, we might come back and build a couple more cells. But yeah. Anyway, scrap goes into the Tesseract. Now on this side, I've built a prize machine. Ooh, yeah. All it does is it pulls from the Tesseract, it receives from that public access Tesseract, loading into this chest, where we can see scrap loading in. Behind here is an auto crafting table making, well, let's just pull this out so you guys can see this. Give me those, 3 of them, good. Auto crafting table, which makes scrap boxes, and then we just have 2 autarchic gates, which say as long as there's space in the dispenser's inventory, pump. Same on that side. That's it. We'll just close that back up so it's pretty again. And then we have dispensers set up with scrap boxes, and we have instructions. Welcome to the Scrapatron 2500. Press button, get prize. Connect into the Tesseract for renewable scrap for free. Right? And then a note up here to the server members. If you need to take scrap, take it from here. Don't go take scrap out of the auto crafting tables. I kill you. Okay. And then don't remove scrap from the machine. Okay. So if you have to take scrap, take it out of here. But there's not going to be very much scrap in there most of the time. Once this thing fills up, it might not be as big of a deal. I do plan on chunk loading this area. If people think this is a good idea and they want to use it, I probably will use this scrap machine for my fun project coming up. So yeah. But yeah, we're going to push button, get prize. Woo! I got scrap! Yes! Perfect. That's just what I always wanted. And aluminum dust. That's not bad. Alright, cool. I won scrap. Worst prize ever. Thanks, Greg Tech. Alright. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to mention this just because I know I'm going to get asked. This is a smoking block. It comes from the Twilight Forest in the Fire Swamp, which is where the Hydra spawns. Don't ask me. Okay. So yeah, that's my little Scrapatron machine factory place. I hope you guys like it. If you did, let me know. Either with the comment or with that like button. Either way, thank you for watching. Like really, thank you for watching, you guys. And thanks for subbing. I appreciate it. I'll see you next time.